know what? Our retreat is provided by a Buddhist university. I think you guys, you already know the name of the university, right? Mahavitalaya Mahatulalamkongprachavitalaya. Can you repeat me? 500 baht anyone? Alright guys. This is an international Buddhist university and we have many students from several countries. This year we have students from America, China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, obviously from Thailand, Nepal, India, and Bangladesh as well. And you know what? You might think that to go to a Buddhist university, the student has to be a Buddhist. Not exactly. No matter what religion you believe, anyone can go to a Buddhist university. It's not only for Buddhist monks. We could have ordinary students like you guys who are going to Buddhist university. Even the Buddhist monks, they do study not only Buddhism, they do study several subjects, like English, math, geography, psychology, whatever. Okay? Alright. So, sorry. Our university was established in 1984, more than 35 years ago. But our main university at Ayutthaya. Have you heard that city? Yeah. Ayutthaya was the second capital city in Thailand. The first one, Sukhothai, second Ayutthaya, third is Bangkok. So in Ayutthaya period, the King Rama feet, who was established a university. That's why the name of university is the name of King Rama feet. We call Mahatula, blah blah, whatever we call, okay? Yeah. And you know this university located in Wat Swandok, in this temple. So temple is a very big area. So inside the temple, we have a university and we have a high school. The high school in front of the mountain, you can see, big building, you know. We have, I think, between 3 to 350 novice monk students. Does it make sense, novice? Yes, yeah, okay. All right. So anyway, guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Phra KK. Phra means monk. So if you want to address a monk in Thailand, you can address Phra as a monk. And KK is my nickname. And I have been monk almost for 20 years. When I was very young, I decided to become a monk. And I decided to become a monk to dedicate my good deed, good action, especially for my parents, because I lost them when I was young. Anyway, this is the founder of meditation and monkship. You know, he's a PhD doctor. His name is Dr. Darmma. He's a Thai monk, but he got doctorate from India. And he was, actually the idea of monkship not from him, from the Western guy who are teaching at the university. You know, last around 20 years ago, he got the idea of monkship for you guys, where foreigner can go and see, learn, you know, from as a way of life, like Buddhism or Buddhist monk life or meditation, you know. For us the same. You know guys, for the Asian people as a monk, it's quite difficult for us to go to abroad. You know, that's why we can talk to you guys, we can learn in the monkship. So he got the idea of monkship last, I guess, 20 years ago, and he gave the idea of monkship to this monk. He's a senior monk at the university as a director. So this is the one, since that time until now, who supported a lot to monkship. So we give the idea of that, we give the title as a founder. Okay. Anyway, he also founded the International Buddhist Meditation Retreat last around 15 years ago. So you will be back in maybe a couple hours. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Buddhism and also about meditation before we go to retreat. Okay. All right, guys. You know what? Most of the Western people who are not familiar with Buddhism, if you go to a Buddhist temple for the first time, you might see several Buddha images like here. And you know what you will see, guys? Buddhist monks, Buddhist people, they sit on their knee, they worship the Buddha like these 3 times. Have you seen that, guys, in the temple? Yeah. And also not only worshiping to statue or images, they also pray. Maybe you have heard some weird. For example, Namo tassa bhagavato iti bhagava araham sama sambuddho vichadara. So many things we say. It's more like a singing, asking something from the statue. So guys who are not familiar with Buddhism, they might think that if you see worshipping or praying to a statue, you might think it's a religion. That's what I thought when I was young. I saw the same thing, guys, in a temple. People are worshipping or praying to Buddha's statue. they're offering many things like a candlelight or the incense stick, the flower, food, many things we offer. So I thought that Buddha is God. That's what I thought. That's why I bring this topic to tell you what exactly Buddhism is. You know guys, the core teaching of the Buddha is not exactly a religion. Buddhism is a philosophy. Buddhism did not talk about faith or beliefs. Buddhism talk about the truth of nature or the law of nature. That's why it's based on the investigation or examining how to find the truth. You know what Buddha said? Don't believe me, don't believe my teaching. Keep practice, investigate yourself, find the truth, then you believe. So Buddhism is a philosophy. And Buddhism is a way of life. It's talk about your life. It's based on practice. In your life, it's based on your practice, how to balance your life. Who can balance? Anyone can balance. How? Practice. So Buddhism is a way of life. It's based on your practice, how to balance your life. There are three main things to train in your life to balance in your life. Does this make sense? Three things. First, train your moral. Learn how to avoiding doing bad. I'm not just saying stop. No one can stop directly. It's better learn to abstaining or avoiding from doing bad. Second, train your mental. Learn how to purify the mind. How to clean your mind. Basically, our mind is so rushed, so busy. That's why I call monkey mind. You should purify the mind to get the inner peace. And the third, wisdom training. To train your wisdom to do good. So guys, three main things you have to train in your life. Your moral training, to avoiding bad, mental training, to purify the mind, and wisdom training to do good. When you train that three things, it will balance three main actions in your life. Your mental action, your verbal action, your physical action. And it goes together. There's no single day in our life we don't think, we don't speak, we don't do. So learn how to think right, speak right, do right to balance your life. When you're able to balance your life, you have a good life. Good life means happy life. That's what we're looking for. No matter who you are, where you're from, what you believe. Main purpose of our life to enjoy the life. And to enjoy your life means what? Enjoy your moment. The present moment. Do good, avoid bad, pure the mind. Share your kindness, compassion, love, respect, and forgiveness with all living things. Live with happiness, die with peace. So overall guys, Buddhism is not a religion, Buddha is not a God. That's why I mentioned here, Buddhism is a way of life. It's based on your practice how to balance your life. That's why Buddha said, do good, avoiding bad, purify the mind. Love yourself, love others. Kind yourself, kind others. Respect yourself, respect others. Compassion yourself, compassion others. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Learn how to bring together in good and bad time. Those are so important to keep balance in your life. You should learn how to be selfless. That's the balance. Anyway, so Buddhism is a way of life, or Buddhism is a philosophy, because you don't talk about faith or beliefs. You talk about the truth. That's why it's based on the investigation how to accept the truth, then you believe. And moreover, I mentioned here, Buddhism is a practical method for liberating oneself from suffering. How to liberate your suffering. You should investigate yourself. Because main cause of suffering, cause of yourself. The origin of suffering is from yours. You should liberate your suffering by yourself. So suffering is truth in every life. You have to accept the truth. Then learn how to let it happen, how to let it go. And moreover, I mentioned here, Buddhism is the path to real happiness. That's what we're looking for, guys. You know what I mean, real happiness? The permanent happiness. That's what we want. We don't want to get old, sick, and death. love someone, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, your best friend, or parents and children, we don't want to lose the loved one. We don't want that kind of mental suffering. So what we want permanent happiness. That's why Buddhism talk about nirvana, the final goal of Buddhism. You know what we call? Nirvana paramang sukham. It means what? Nirvana is the permanent happiness. That's why Buddhism talk about reincarnation or rebirth, life after life, until you achieve the permanent happiness. When we were born the end of suffering, to get the permanent happiness. That's why final goal of Buddhism called nirvana. And guys, do you think nirvana is only for Buddhists? No. Anyone could be an enlightened. It's based on your practice. Because enlightened has no sign only for Phra KK or Buddhist. It's based on your practice, how to purify yourself. Anyway, guys, here I mentioned a little more information about Buddhism. You know the word, the meaning of the Buddhi. For example, Christian plus needy, Christianity. Same thing, Buddhi plus Zong, we call Buddhism. Actually, Buddhi means to awaken, to arise, or to enlighten from your greed, angry, delusion, hatred, violence, ignore, craving, or egoness. If you awaken from those defilements, you will not have mental suffering anymore. Because you have no greed, no delusion, no hatred, no anger. So you have no more mental suffering. Around 2,600 years ago, as we know, Siddhartha Gautama, the name of Buddha, who became an enlightened one, practiced by himself when he was 35 years old. So guys, the final goal of Buddhism, as I told you, is called nirvana. Anyone could get nirvana. Because Buddhism is not a religion, so anyone could be a Buddha. Maybe in religion say you are not supposed to be a god. But in Buddhism, nirvana is the final goal. Anyone could be nirvana. So why we call Buddha? Buddha means an enlightened one who achieved nirvana. So anyone could be a Buddha. And there are so many Buddha. Siddhartha Buddha, Fat Buddha, Laughing Buddha, whatever we call it. Happy Buddha. Buddha means an enlightened. Okay? Anyway, you know, when I was young, I thought Buddha is our God because we pray to Buddha. You know, we offer many things. We worship the Buddha. Actually, Buddha is not a God. The core teaching of the Buddha is not based on the belief or faith. It's not a religion. Buddha is a human like us. He was born in 623 BC. It was part of India, the place Buddha was born, before in the Buddha time. But after country has been separated, the present day, the place Buddha was born belongs to Nepal, the Mount Everest country. The place he was born is called Lumpini Park. If you go to Nepal, please go there. You will experience many things, guys. There are so many different temples from different countries. Different Buddhism they represent. The place where Buddha was born. Still place Buddha was enlightened and passed away belongs to India. It's very close between India and Nepal. You know. Anyway, according to the story of the Buddha, he was born in a royal family. He was only a child. And from childhood, he was very wise. Maybe like me. You know what, guys? Yesterday I told them, you should learn how to love yourself. If you know how to love yourself, at least you will enjoy your life. If you cannot love yourself, you cannot truly love others. Before, I was not like that, to be honest. I was more like selfish. I'm the one who knows everything. More delusion. But now, more I meditate, more I learn Buddhism, I became more balanced. You know? It's so important, guys. Anyway, the name of Buddha, Prince Siddhartha Gautama. So he were only a son, only a prince in the royal family. So he was very wise from childhood. And you know what? His parents was very curious, son to be something else in the future. So parents never let him to know the struggle or suffering of life. So he was growing up in the palace with a lot of pleasure and happiness. When he became an adult age, his parents let him to get married. So he got married with a beautiful princess. Her name is Yasodhara. After he got married, he got a son. His name is Rahul or Rahula. Then before he became a king, he visited his kingdom. Then he experienced so many things, guys. He saw people are stressed in their lives, so rushed, so depressed, anxiety, worries, and tense. He saw an old man, sick man, and dead body. Take a look. So Prince Siddhartha, only a son who will be a king very soon. He has power, gold, palace, luxuries. He has no suffering. But when he saw the people are so stressed, depressed, anxiety, getting old, sick, and dead, then he realized, oh, no matter how much I have power, am I prince or king, or I have luxuries, suffering is true to every life. I want to know what is the cause of suffering. I want to get away from suffering. I want the permanent happiness. Then age of 29, he renounced from everything. Does it make sense, guys? Renunciation. He gave up everything. He became an ascetic. Sorry for my accent. It's more like an ascetic that we call informal time, who keeps simplicity life like a monk. But nowadays, monk not look like simplicity. Every monk has smartphone. Anyway, guys, monk allowed to use smartphone for education, for communicate, not to harm yourself, not to harm others, for good to you, good to others. You know. Anyway, so he renounced from everything. He don't want to be a king. He don't want the power, palace, gold, luxuries. He gave up. You know why? Because he said, the gold, the palace, the power is not permanent happiness. Because more you have, more you want. Never enough in your life. So desire could be cause you suffering or stress. That's why he gave up. He renounced from everything. Then, guys, he went to forest for 6 years. You know, according to the story, he was only meditating without food for 49 days. He don't eat any food, just only practice. So if you see this kind of Buddha image, it represents the story of the Buddha when he stopped to eat food. So different Buddha images, different posture also has different significance. Here you can see also same image inside. After my presentation, you can see for a while. So the same. So this image represents the story of the Buddha when he stopped to eat food. He didn't take care of himself, only practice. Then finally he realized, oh no. I don't take care of myself, only practice. So I'm not in balance. Without balance, how would I achieve nirvana or enlightenment? There is no balance. Then he was found at the middle path or middle way. That's why I told you guys, Buddhism is a way of life. It's based on the practice how to balance your life. So after he found at the middle path and middle way, he was learning and practicing following the middle path. From 29 years old until 35 years old. So 6 years he practiced the middle path. So when he was 35, he was able to awaken or enlightened when he was 35 years old. Simply, he was awakened or arisen from all defilements. This makes sense, defilement? For example, greed, angry, delusion, hatred, violence, ignorance, craving, or egoness. So, simply we call enlightened, because he has no more mental suffering. Kind of mentally enlightened. finally Buddha, he became an old, sick and dead, age of 80 at Kushinagar in India. Buddha passed away. I thought that Buddha is a god when I was young. It was my misunderstanding. Actually, Buddha is not a god. Buddhism is not exactly a religion like other religions, belief and faith. No. It's based on the investigation how to accept the truth, how to practice in your life to balance. So guys, Buddha is not a god. To be honest, as a Buddhist monk, seriously I'm telling you, Buddha, he didn't create us. Buddha, he didn't create the world. And Buddha has no right to judge anyone. You did right, go to heaven. You did wrong, go to hell. No. It's not exactly a religion. There is no judgment, right or wrong. That's why Buddhism talk about karma. Have you heard that? Goes around, comes around. You do good to you, good to others, you enjoy your life. When you do bad to you, bad to others, you suffer. And it's truth, guys. It's truth of nature, the law of nature. No matter what you believe, male or female, it's truth to every life. Simply because circumstances or karma. Buddha never judged anyone where to go. It's all from your action or intention. This is what we call karma. So guys, Buddha is not a god. When you see Buddhist monks, they sit on their knee, they worship 3 times like this. It's more like a worshipping. It's not exactly called worship. If Buddha is not a god, we should not worship the Buddha. So how do we go when we do like this? Actually we call bowing to show respect. 3 times. First time we bow to show respect to Buddha as an enlightened one or a great teacher. Second time we bow to show respect to his teaching. Third time we bow to show respect to his disciple or followers, simply to a noble one. And it's also part of Thai culture, guys. No matter who you are, if you approach with Thai people, you will see in Thailand, they palm their hands and they bow to you. They will say, "Sawadee krap, krap khun krap." That's what we do to show respect each other. It's different from your culture. You know, in your culture, you handshake, or you hug, or you kiss. But here we bow. It's not called worship. Because Buddha is not. Same thing, guys. You might see, Buddhist monk pray. Namo tassa bhagavato iti viso bhagavata, whatever we say. It's more like a praying, asking something from the Buddha. But it's not exactly called praying. Buddha is not a god, so we should not pray to Buddha. So how do we call if we're not called praying? We call chanting. Does that make sense? C-H-A-N-T-I-N-G, chanting, or in Sanskrit language. Have you heard Sanskrit? In Sanskrit language, we call mantra. It has 2 meanings why we do that. The first meaning of chanting, to memorize the Buddha's teaching. Because Buddha time, around 2,600 years ago, he has no written teaching. He has only oral teaching, spoken. So since Buddha time until now, generation by generation, especially the Buddhist monk, we chant twice in a day to memorize the Buddha's teaching. And we also simply call mantra meditation. How long you do that? That long you have no monkey mind, no thoughts, no anxiety, worries, tension, or depression. Because you have to concentrate on that in different tune, different level, different rhythms. It's more like a sing-a-song, guys. When you sing a song, you need concentration. You lost, you will have to bring back and again focus. So guys, we don't worship the Buddha, we don't pray to Buddha. Buddhism, the core of the teaching, is not exactly a religion because they don't talk about faith or beliefs. They talk about the truth. See, guys, how important is this? What did you see? What did you hear? What did you think? It's totally different. If you go the Buddhist culture, there's I would say images, the things we do, whatever, in the traditional way. It's more like a religion. But if you see the core teaching, it's not exactly a religion. If I want to recommend you to follow Buddhist philosophy, follow the core teaching, not the people or tradition. for the Buddhist people is important, traditional way that whatever we do, because it's a lot of meaningful for us. Like yesterday, there was a question. Someone asked me why there is luxury temple. Is Buddhism is not a religion. Why there are so many images? Guys, Buddha images is not part of Buddha's teaching. Buddha never said make my images. Buddha time, no images. No one had seen how Buddha looked like. The images made by disciples. After a long time, Buddha passed away. Buddha has many teaching, many stories, so it looks different to represent different teaching, different stories. Buddha time has no luxury temple. The temple built by people for the people. In formal time, Buddhist monk, they stay in the forest, they meditate. Buddhist monk represent a great teacher. So people in the village, they invite Buddhist monk to come to village to teach. So we have no place to stay, so they build temple. So generation to generation, everything can change. If we think about our grandparents' time, at the time no digital watch, right guys? Now everyone has digital. It's different. So anyway guys, that's why what did you see, it might not exactly same from Buddha's teaching or what. Anyway, I'm so sorry guys. I'm sick. I was talking to Mr. Canadian. Yesterday all day I was sick here, and when I was asleep, I got so pain behind, here, backside. So I got sick, I took some medicine as well. Yeah, anyway, everything is impermanent. No one knows when, how, where something happened. Anything happen, accept the truth. Try to let it happen, try to let it go. Okay, anyway. So guys, now let me tell you so important things we call Darmma. Darmma means truth. Those kinds of words is more like a Sanskrit word, Because Western people, you guys are familiar with Sanskrit language. Like Dharma, Karma, Nirvana, whatever we call. But in Southeast Asian Buddhist country, we use Pali language. So between Pali and Sanskrit is very same. Okay. So Dharma means truth or teaching of the Buddha. I told you guys Buddha's teaching is all about the truth of nature or the law of nature. The first teaching of the Buddha is called the Four Noble Truths. Guys, these Four Noble Truths, they talk about suffering. Because suffering is the truth. I guess it's universal truth, guys. Is it right, guys? Is it true the suffering in your life? Or can I see anyone here who have never been suffered, please? Hello, anyone? Or in America? Whatever. There is no one in this world who have never been suffered, no matter what you believe, no matter where you're from, rich or poor. And tell me, guys, do you want to free from suffering? Hello? Yes. That's what we're looking for. We want to get permanent happiness. So the final goal of Buddhism called Nirvana. That is the permanent happiness. As I told you guys, we don't want to get old, sick, and death. We don't want physical, mental suffering. We don't want depression, anxiety, worries, and tense. We want permanent happiness. I know you guys from far away who came here to learn something, to know, to get the inner peace, to find the happiness. Because in your country may be so stressful, so rush. Country are developed, people are so suffering. Look at Miss, she came here a couple times. Look at Miss Canadian, Italian, he also. Many people. Why? They come again and again. Why? They spend money. They spend 2,300 baht for a full day. Doesn't matter. Money can earn, but you cannot experience. That's why you guys are here. Because we need it. It's very important in our life. People are so sick mentally in this world. You are still alive, what we can see, but inside you are dying every day. This is true, guys. Anyway, that's why I bring this topic tell you what is suffering and how to get away from your suffering, guys. That's why Buddha mentioned the Four Noble Truths. Suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, the way to end of suffering. So important. So that's what I'm saying. Suffering is truth in every life. So you should learn how to accept the truth and how to let it happen, how to let it go. There is a big challenge in our life how to let it go. How can you let it go if you never meditate, if you never accept the truth, if you never learn the truth? Maybe religion could teach you how to believe and faith, not the truth. That's why, once again guys, Buddhism as a way of life. We talk about your life and what you need in your life. How to accept the truth in your life and how to let it happen, how to let it go. That's why Buddha mentioned in First Noble Truth, life of suffering. Suffering is truth, you have to accept it. You know guys, there are two main kinds of suffering. Mainly two. Physical suffering and mental suffering. No one escapes or run away from these two types of suffering. No matter are you Christian, Hindu, Jew, Buddhist, Islam, rich, poor, male, female, or female. No one gets away from physical and mental suffering because it's truth. Let me example you guys. You see guys, physically, look at you guys. How cute, how beautiful you guys are. And how handsome. Look at me as well, right? Tell me guys, the cutie face, handsome face, beautiful figure, sexy figure, fitness body, what will happen after 70 or 80 years old? The cute face will be wrinkled face. The black hair will be gray hair. One day you will lose your energy. It's not only truth to me, not only truth to you, truth to the universal. No matter how delusional they, how rich are they, how beautiful. No matter Miss Universe or Mr. Universe. You know guys, our life is a temporary life, changing of life. Never ever delusion that I'm the best, I'm the beautiful, I'm the most handsome. It's not forever. It's so important to learn, you know that? That's why I told you guys, everything is impermanent. Yesterday I was so strong to teach them. All day from 9 a.m. to 5:30. I think we finished at around 4:30, and I have one more group, 30 students, till 6:30, all day. So I was so tired, I got sick. Did I expect to get sick? No, but it's happened. I don't want it, but it's true. I have to accept it, guys. Because everything is impermanent. No one knows when, how, where something happened, good or bad. We don't expect something to get in our life, especially bad things, but it's happened. And something we want to happen in our life, but it doesn't happen. It's not what you decide, guys. It's all about the truth of nature, the law of nature. That's what Buddhism talks about, the impermanence. Not only physical suffering is truth, guys. Mental suffering, also truth. Tell me, do you want mental suffering, guys? No one wants. But it's true. You have to accept the truth. You know what, guys? When I was 7 years old, I lost my mom. My mom, she was died. When I was only 7 years, I'm only the son in my family. Then I lost my dad when I was 12. I was growing up in an orphan. A lot of struggle in my life. Do I want to lose my parents? Do you guys want to lose your parents? But it's true. You know what? After I lost my parents, I was asking why? Why I lost my parents? Why was my question mark? So I was asking why. But I got my answer now. You know my answer is, why not? Why not is my answer. I'm so sorry to tell you guys, it's not only truth to me, truth to everyone. No matter how much you love your parents or parents love you. No matter how much you love your best friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, wife and husband. One day anyhow, it's gonna happen to every life. Somehow you have to lose someone, someone will lose you. So when you lost one that you love so much, what happened, guys? You get mental suffering. But it's truth, you have to accept it. Ask yourself, guys. Have you ever lost anyone in your life? Can I see anyone here who have never lost anyone in your life? Hello? I see no one. Ask all the family in this world, no matter what they believe. Have you ever lost any member from your family? You will never find someone, some families who has never lost. This is the truth, guys. So overall, life is a suffering, physically and mentally. Everything is impermanent. That is the truth. We have to accept it. Anyway, so when you know the suffering, then you have to know the cause of suffering. What do you suffer? What's your origin of suffering? Where is it from? According to Buddhism, main cause of suffering in your life, cause of yourselves. The origin of suffering is from yours. You see, I. The single word, I, is the main cause of suffering. Because we always attach too much ourselves. Let me be precise, guys. Who do good or bad? I do. Positive, negative from where? From me. Right or wrong, who decide? I decide. Who greed? I greed. Who angry? I angry. Who delusion? I delusion. Who hatred? I hatred. Who violence? I violence. Who ignore? I ignore. Who craving? I craving. Who have ego? I have ego. Everything being attached with you, with I. Finally, who suffer? I suffer. More who have? I have. More who want? I want. Who have a desire? I have a desire. Who suffer? I suffer. Let's say, guys, my parents died. My parents passed away. Who will suffer? I will suffer because they are my parents, guys, not your parents. 1,000 parents die in a day. You don't know, you don't suffer. You don't feel anything. But when your parents die, you suffer. Because of what? It's yours. Who had a mind? I had a mind. And everyone has a mind. Right, guys? My mind, your mind, all mind are so rushed, so worries, so busy. I call monkey mind. Then what do you have in your mind? Stress, tense, anxiety, depression, worries. So begin being attached in your mind. Mentally sick. Let's say, guys, an example more. You guys, you hate KK very much. And KK, I don't know anything, you hating him. So if you hate me, I don't know anything, do you think it's my suffering? I don't think so. I must be enjoying myself in my temple in Thailand. But you are the one in your country, not happy to sleep, not happy to work, not happy to use Facebook or smartphone. See? Or I could example you different ways. Okay, yesterday I was example to them. You know, there are so many people who really don't like Mr. President of America, Donald Trump. Even Americans they don't like. So guys, if you don't like Mr. President of America, do you think his president suffering? I don't think so. Maybe he enjoy with sexy girl every night, but you are the one every night who have a lot of stress, cannot sleep well. It's truth. It's true. Why happen? Because you attach yourself too much. Main cause of suffering because of yourselves. It's truth, guys. I'm so sorry to tell you. But we have to understand. Or I could give you more example, I guess. Okay. Alright. Can I example with you, Miss Bangkok? Because I see your Bangkok side. I forgot her name. Anna, right? From where? Spain. Spain. Okay, guys. An example. I love Anna so much, Mrs. Spanish, my sweetheart. I love you so much. But Anna, she don't like KK. She don't know who is KK. She don't care anything about every night party. Here we go, man. This makes sense, guys? She enjoyed her life in Spain, but I'm the one in Thailand who get a lot of stress suffering. Because of what? I suffer not because of her, because of myself. I detest too much. This makes sense? Anyway, I'm so sorry the example. Is it okay for you? You know what? Let it happen, let it go. So if you cannot let it go yourself, then you will suffer. Again, what is the main cause of our suffering? Because of ourselves. Does it make sense, guys? Please try to understand, but sorry for my English. You know, guys, we speak kind of Thai plus English because Tinglish. And I have never been to international school to learn English. So I learn by myself, by practice. So sorry for my English. Try to understand. I hope you know, guys. Anyway. So I'm saying, guys, main cause of suffering because of yourself. Or, okay, last and final example to you guys. This is a very silly example. Take a look, okay? Okay, let's say, guys, I pink my nose. Do you see, Anna? Yeah, I pink my nose. Then I eat it. Look at her face. Ah, disgusting, right? You think I suffer? No, I'm so happy. You are the one who suffer. It's true, guys. I'm happy here, but you are the one suffer. Why? Just use your wisdom. Use your mind. Actually, guys, the main cause of suffering is because of ourselves. Someone say main cause of suffering because of attachment, right? No. What's wrong with your attachment? Attachment is human nature. Don't you love your best friend? Don't you love your parents? Don't you love your children? Your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, children, and parents? It's kind of attachment. Love. I have been monk almost 20 years. Kind of attachment, guys. I'm a senior monk who did the retreat 1 day, 2 day, or 4 day retreat. I do meditate twice a day, regularly, every day, minimum 1 hour or 2 hours. If I cannot meditate, I feel not good. Kind of attachment. Attachment doesn't cause you suffering. Keep remember the root of suffering or the main cause of suffering because of dwelling the attachment. Does that make sense? Dwell or dwelling? So I told you main cause of suffering because of I dwell too much. It's caused me suffering. Not the attachment. Because of dwelling the attachment. Let me give you a more easy way, an example. Let's say, guys, thinking. Thinking is nature of mind. Don't you think, guys, about future, past, whatever? We do. It's nature of mind. Everyone has thought. Thinking don't make you stress if you don't think too much. That's what I've been doing. There was a private group of meditators. I told them yesterday as well. Maybe Mr. Italian, you remember, right? Last week on Friday. There was a private group, around 20 people, in this room. For 1 day they came for private. So we began to meditate at 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. So there was a guy who was coughing. He had a bit sick. He coughed a lot. After a while. So in end of the practice, I was asking them, guys, did you enjoy the practice? So many people say, yes, it's super nice. I had this good experience. But when they went back, in a few minutes, one person came back. Person who was participating with us. There was a guy. He came back and he said, KK, I'm so sorry to tell you, man. I didn't enjoy the practice. I was asking, why? You know what he said? There was a guy. He coughed a lot. After a while. So I cannot meditate. It's distracting me, my concentration. I cannot concentrate myself because of he coughed a lot. Can you imagine, guys? Who have sick, cough at 9 a.m. And the person who have no coughing, no sick, but he mentally suffered until 5 p.m. Does it make sense? dwelling. You see guys, something in your life, last 5 years, 10 years ago, something happened badly. Still you suffer because of what? Dwelling. When you dwell it, you suffer. That's why people learn meditation. The mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is knowing yourself. How to accept the truth, how to let it happen, how to let it go. So keep remember, main cause of suffering because of dwelling the attachment. You know, anything happen, just to let it happen. Don't dwell it. And afterward, it will disappear itself because everything is impermanent. You see, sometimes we get angry. I'm so angry. I'm angry. You think angry is yours? I don't think so. How long I dwell with the angry, that long I angry. Actually, angry has no self. It's impermanent. If angry is you, then why don't you angry for 24 hours in a day, 24 years? So we need the mindfulness just to let it happen, not to dwell it. The main cause of suffering because of dwelling. You know what? This is very personal things, but I really want to share with you guys because I feel you guys are my friends. Okay, not my students, and I'm not your teacher. We're just friends. Think that I'm a friend as among of yours, you know, to share with me as well. Don't be hesitant, guys. I really like to learn from others and share with others. Okay? So I don't say I don't teach, I share. You know what? That's why let me tell you. When I was very young, I used to work in other home, kind of like cleaning. When I was a boy, after I lost my parents, you know, I had no food to eat, no clothing, so I had to work in other home. So I cleaned. For a few months, they feed me and they buy some clothing for me, that's all. Just for a few months. You know the owner in home, he had a son, like maybe your age guys. Maybe around teenage, maybe like that. But I worked very young at the time. So he lost some money, I guess, from his room. So he thought that I stole it. I stole it. He beat me a lot. They said they give me, otherwise I will take you to police and many things. I could be poor, but I'm honest. I don't know nothing about that. But they kicked me out. You know, I was so angry. Even after I became a monk for many years, still when I remember that, it brings me so angry in mind. If I get, I will kill. This feeling, you know. It took a long time. Finally, when I learned many things about Buddhism, meditation, now I don't feel anything. Whenever I see him, I feel more relaxed, more happy. You know. This is an example to you guys, to understand more. You know, main cause of suffering because of dwelling. The longer you dwell, that longer you stress will suffer. Anyway, so guys, you know the suffering, cause of suffering, then you have to know the end of suffering. Sorry, in Buddhist book, it's not this word. If you open the Buddhist book, you will see the cessation of suffering, not the sensation, cessation of suffering. It simply means end of suffering. So guys, why you make complicate? I don't mean the American or who are native speaker who are good in English, especially for us who are not native speaker. We make so complicated way we learn English. You know what? So if I use the end of suffering, it's better than cessation of suffering. So don't make your life complicated in the way you learn English. Anyway, this is my idea. Okay, to know the suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, then you have to know the way to end of suffering. Very important, guys. I told you, when Buddha, he didn't take to himself only meditate. He suffered a lot. Finally, he found the middle way or middle path. So the way means what? Middle way. It means balance. So important in the way of life, the middle path. I'm not saying Buddhist way of life. I'm saying what? In a way of life. No matter what relationship you lead, no matter male or female, balance in a life is very important. Balance between everything. That's it, guys, between all the relations, that's it, between Christian, Hindu, Jew, Buddhist, Islam, need balance. If there is no balance between one another, there will be ignoring, fighting, war, killing. That's what's happening nowadays. Don't you read the news, guys? In the same religion, two groups, they fight. You know why? Well, you know why they fight? Because of no balance. Even wife and husband being long relationship, they got married, they have kids, they divorce. Why? No balance. Boyfriend, girlfriend, they have very long relationship, they promise to get married together, having family, but they broken heart. Why? No balance. You eat less, you suffer. If you eat more than you expected, same thing happen. Because of what? No balance. If you sleep less, you feel so tired, you know. And if you sleep more than you expected, same thing happen. Because of what? No balance. You know, a group said, we are right, you're wrong. Other group said, no, we are right, you're wrong. What happened? Fight. That's why in Buddhism, in Buddhist philosophy, they said main cause of suffering, not cause of others, cause of yourselves. It's better, don't judge others. Judge yourself. If you point someone to judge them right or wrong, this and that, look at your finger, guys. You are pointing only a finger to them, but three fingers point back to you. Person. So Buddha said, investigate, find the truth first. Then you can judge right. But people don't like that. It's like that we judge. Good or bad. Before we investigate. Anyway, guys, the middle path or middle way is very, very important because it's balanced. You see, guys, everyone has mind and body, right, guys? I can see your body. Do you have mind? Yes, we do, but it's monkey mind. You see, everyone has mind and body, and it needs balance between mind and body because it goes together. But the problem in our life, we have no balance between mind and body. Everyone knows, guys, how to take care of your physical body. In on time, we need enough sleep, enough food, exercise, showering, clothing, makeuping. Is it right? For physical body. Even you get illness, sickness, physically, you can go to doctor, take medicine, do operation or surgeries. I heard there is some, like an actress or actors, they go to surgery in Korea. Korea is very good for surgery. They have little tiny nose, they control looks become more better. Whatever, guys. For physical problem, you can fix it. That's why look at you guys, look at the people in all over the world. Physically so good, guys. Look so beautiful, so cute, so handsome, so fitness, so sexy. Whatever. Physically. But mentally, doesn't matter how you fitness, sexy, beautiful, handsome. Mentally, everyone has same problem. Worries, tense, stress, anxiety, depression. So we have no balance between external and internal, especially between mind and body. No balance. 3 times in a day you eat food for physical energy, right? How many times do you meditate in a day for your mental energy? Is it balanced? Have you ever asked yourself? You do feel hungry, right? In all time you feel hungry. Don't you feel stress in your life, anyone? Do you? So why don't you feed your mind to get away from stress by meditation practice? But you know when you're hungry, you eat food or free from hungriness. See, guys, no balance at all. How much we take care of our body, that much we don't take care of our mind. So mentally, everyone are sick. Guys, twice a day you shower, right? Minimum once a day, we we shower, to fresh our body, clean our body, to relax our body. And tell me, how many times do you meditate in a day? Clean your mind, pure your mind, relax your mind. Again, guys, no balance. That's why people mentally sick. This is truth. This is truth, guys. Definitely. I think the problem is we think too much in our life. We speak too much. We wanted too much. Too much thinking, too much speaking make only stress. That's why according to Buddhism, think less, speak less, do more. Just do it. If you never change yourself, nothing will change in your life. As I told you, I've never been to international school to learn English. I was not able to speak English. But I never give up. Life, no pain, no gain. At the beginning time, I have to think in my language. I translate it, then I speak up. But I keep practice more and more, more and more. It's the power of mind. I don't have to think anymore. I don't have to translate anymore. It automatically came out. That's why, guys, keep practice. To balance between mind and body, especially meditation. It helps you a lot to get the inner peace, to get wisdom, to accept the truth and how to let it happen, how to let it go. You know who meditate? They are more positive person. They have more love, kind, compassion, respect, and forgiveness. Who meditate, they can easily detach from their greed, anger, delusion, hatred, all kind of defilements. Who meditate, they have less stress, less anxiety, less worry, less intent. No matter you have money or not, but you have inner peace. You can sleep so well. You can enjoy the life. The problem in Western, and even in Thailand as well, people nowadays, more they have, more they want. Never enough. They follow in that way, so they get stressed. Anyway, guys, so middle path or middle way is so important. Take a look. So we call middle path or middle way. It has a name. It's called the Noble Eightfold Path. This 8 noble paths separated into 3 groups. Okay, guys, in first line we have 8 people. Let's say this is 8 noble paths. This 8 noble paths separated into 3 groups. The first one is called moral training. Please try to understand this, is very important. So moral training means to avoiding